So we've got a new crime. Now, the crime that I want to talk to you guys about, and we're going to talk about today. First, let's get to the crime. I'm not going to hold you up. Okay. So this is reported, I think, first by my good friend over there, Bang TV, who I just interviewed in Korea. And I'm going to read this off to you. I know it's a little small, but let me read this off to you guys. So in the case of Gyeongsung passenger bus 271s, this is a bus where Johnny Somali created an incident. The victim was identified and the bus driver gave a statement. The Gyeongsung passenger bus manager was on the bus at the time and also gave a statement about witnessing obstruction of business. The charges were acknowledged and sent to the prosecution. If there are 4 or 5 of these, you cannot go. And what that means is if these add up, he's f***ed. You cannot not go, meaning to jail, right? So if these obstruction of business charges start adding up, it's almost destined that he'll get some jail time. This is big. This is big because it is adding on. It is adding on. He fucked around and he didn't realize when he fucked around on the bus, he didn't realize the manager was on the bus. FAFO. You guys who know FAFO know what I'm talking about. He didn't realize the manager of the company was on the bus. He's got a serious other charge coming his way in the form of obstruction. And once again, the first one, he might get a fine, slap on the wrist. The second one, the third one, the fourth one, this is where it goes. And this is not, a lot of people, other channels, I know Al was talking about this and other people were talking about Goso versus Gobal, third-party report versus first-party report. This is a first-party report. This is not a third party. This is not some other person. It's not me whining, oh, you should go arrest Somali, which, by the way, enough of the third-party reports do add up. This is a first-party report by the company that can say, yeah, we were affected by this because this impacted us. This right here, when the bus driver has to get up and handle you and yell at you, that's obstruction. You are causing a delay. If you guys don't know, in case you guys haven't been to Korea, buses tend to run on time. And if you are in any way delaying the timeliness of a bus, that is huge. That is absolutely big because that same bus is driving back and forth all day. And if you've messed them up by 5 minutes, that messes up the whole schedule for the whole day. So this is a big deal. All right, so let me go back into this. What is he facing? Okay, so what is the consequence here? So the consequence is the same as last time, quote unquote, up to 5 years in prison, in jail. However, once again, you're not going to face that for the first penalty and probably even for the second one. But let's say the first one, the one with the ramen, is a fine. The second one could be 6 months in jail or a year in jail or 2 years in jail. In the aggregate, these things can get added up. And that's where we see the real punishment for Johnny. And mind you, if this is added to the case, it may be very likely the date gets pushed back or there's more delay or there's more time for consolidation. And remember, as much as I want to stream the trial, and I deeply want to stream the trial as much as I can. Now, we can't stream the actual trial, but I'll be there at the courthouse before and after, either doing a recording or doing live streaming. And at least outside the courthouse, right? As close as I can get legally and do a live stream or recording. But that said, I want to cover it and I want to get it done and I want to start doing it. That's going to be awesome. But I want to do it right. And I don't care if a case takes a year. It needs to be done correctly. And this one needs to be done correctly, slowly over time. And if they need more time to do this, please, by all means, Korean prosecutors, take 2 years, take 3 years, take as long as you want processing Johnny Somali. He's not going anywhere. And he doesn't have, really the resources to adequately fight back. He still doesn't have a quote unquote real lawyer. He has a public defender, but he doesn't have a private attorney, right? So he hasn't actually hired an attorney who's concerned about his case. Public defenders kind of don't give that much of a shit about your case. I mean, they're not gonna do much for it. They've got thousands of cases or hundreds of cases that they're covering. They don't have time for you. So if he thinks his public defender is going to be like some wonder lawyer, that's not going to be it. I'm not saying they're incompetent. They're not incompetent. They're decent. They're okay. But okay isn't amazing and doesn't get you out of the Johnny Somali level of trouble. Also, I have been informed that people have been contacting the judge. And I'll probably have more information on that, but apparently there have been people submitting information. And apparently the court has said to those folks that if they want to submit information, even in English, they'll be willing to consider it and take it. So that's actually really good news for those that might have been harmed and might be abroad right now, which is very, very, very good news.